Hi guys, this is Franco. Welcome back to my English learning update. I'm going to share my English learning routine of this week and things that I have learned from my tutor. They are things that I didn't understand even after checking dictionary. So I'm doing this video because I want to show people that becoming fluent in English is much easier than you think. You just need to do three things basically, and I'm gonna do it together with you. You need to think in English all the time, you need to have tons of listening repetition, and some speaking as well. So if you don't understand why you should do this, then you should check out my previous video in the description. Basically, it's telling you about how I become fluent in English after struggling more than 10 years. So let me report my learning of the week. So I think in English all the time, maybe 70 to 80% as always. And then I spoke in English for only an hour this week. I spoke in English with my tutor. And I also speaking English right now in this video. And that's it. And also I spent around 40 minutes on repeat listening per day from Monday to Saturday. So only 40 minutes per day. So pretty good job. And the video that I'm watching right now is called The Disturbing Murders at Keddie Cabin. So it's an unsolved murder case which I think four people were killed. So it's kind of scary to watch, but you still want to watch it. So without further ado, let's have a look.
This week on BuzzFeed Unsolved, we discussed the horrifying Keddie Cabin murders. We're actually going to go visit the former site of the Keddie Cabin, which is Cabin 28. It's been since demolished. Strap in, because this one is rough.
So
Go ahead.
let's get started. So my first
Awesome.
question is, this sentence is been since demolished. I understand the meaning of it. Demolish means something is destroyed or removed, but I would put since at the end of the sentence. This is the structure that I never used it before, so I'm a little bit confused.
Okay, good. Great question. Now, you are correct. Normally, we see it at the end of the sentence. Okay. But whenever we use it before the object right here, so we have the object, right?
Yeah.
We have the it's been since demolished. Before the object, what it is since that time, right? So, for example, I used to live in Brooklyn on a neighborhood with an apartments. It's been since demolished, right? Meaning that it has been demolished since that, right? Up to this point, right? So it is not no particular point, but when you say since, that means that it has happened before in the past, right? So for example, let me give you an example of this. Franco has or used to live in Russia. Right? He has since moved back. Right. So
I got
between the last time and this time that we're talking about in the moment, you have completed that action, right? It doesn't say a specific time, but it's it's been since the moment, since past tense until the present tense. Well,
Okay.
this changed.
I think I got it. So, but if I use it, I'm not quite good with grammar. So let's say in this case, I use I start with I. Maybe after graduation, I haven't been this restaurant since this. Is it correct? Because this
So you would be it's been since graduation,
it's
right?
means
Does that make sense?
yeah.
Since graduation, that you continue finishing on your sentence. Yeah. So You can also use it in that sense as well.
Okay, I think I kind
Mhm.
of got it now.
And
Thank you.
most of the time also, it's since been demolished.
It's
Does that make
since
sense?
been
Yeah, so
demolished.
since is gonna become before been.
Oh,
Mhm.
here as well.
Most of the time you see it before then. Yeah.
Okay, good to
All
know.
right.
April 12th, 1981, in Keddie, California, the Sharp family and some friends went to sleep in cabin 28 in the Keddie Resort Lodge. What occurred next would shock the county and is a crime that is still actively being worked on today. 4 people sleeping in the house were brutally murdered.
So the next word is county. I
Mhm.
understand it means a region within a state, so a little part of the state. I
Yeah.
I I heard both pronunciation in the video, county, ty, and county. So I I'm not sure which one is correct.
County.
County.
County, yes. Always use county. County is the correct way to say it. All right. So you could
Okay.
say, I'm from Franklin County, or I was born in Lancaster County, for example. County is the correct way to say it. If somebody says county, then they are mispronouncing it. Okay.
All right. Maybe let's have a look because
Take a look.
maybe I didn't listen
No problem.
correctly. 103.
That's great.
What occurred next would shock the county.
Yeah.
In the
The
Keddie
county. All right. So great way of saying that. All right. A lot of times the T in some parts of the United States won't have a strong intonation. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
How it should. Now, it should, the proper way to say it is county.
Okay.
But sometimes some people in some regions of America, especially the Midwest, what I can just tell from the accent they have here, they'll
Okay.
say county,
County.
but that T is still in there, but it just doesn't have the, how can I say, the focus, right? The strength of the word is not in a T like it should be, correct?
Oh.
Right? Like certain words have certain stress points, right? County, right? That T is a stress point.
Mm-hmm.
Some regions, throughout time, and this is the great thing about language, is that it's constantly evolving in English as well. Some of them won't have that stress over the T, but the correct way to say it, like the proper way, is with the stress over the T, right? So
Okay.
county.
County. Okay, maybe
Yep.
let me try.
what occurred next would shock the county. In its
I,
Right.
I
So
still
yeah, he says county, right? But
yeah.
the correct pronunciation is county.
Yeah, got it.
the site of this horrible murder. Worth noting, it's a town of 66 people. I'm not a gambling man, but I don't really like those odds.
Because they've never caught this person? Is that the...
Yeah, so we could conceivably run into this guy,
So the next one, this one is interesting.
Mhm.
I'm not a gambling man, but I don't really like those odds. I understand the meaning. I think because they don't want to get into a situations that don't want to get killed. So they are saying, "Oh, I don't like those odds." But I just don't quite understand the, this how
Good.
to
Yeah.
use this one.
Yeah. So basically, this is a rhetorical way to say it, right? So this is a very common thing to say. You say, I'm not a gambling man, but I don't really like those odds. All right. Or you could also say the other way around. You could say it positive. I'm not a gambling man, but I really like those odds. Okay. Meaning that, you understand you're not a person that gambles, but you understand that those odds might be either good or bad. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Like that what you're undertaking, right? Whatever action or task it may be,
Mm-hmm.
right? You either like the odds or you don't like the odds, right?
Okay.
But it's saying that you understand that it could be a gamble, right? I'm not a gambling man, so you say that as a pre-warning, but I really don't like those odds, right?
I think I got it. Because
Mhm.
at the beginning, I thought you have to say maybe negative in the
No,
next sentence. So Actually, you
No.
can say positive or
Yeah,
negative.
exactly. Like if you want to take a chance, for example, right? You could say, frankly, you could say, you know what? I'm not a gambling man, but I really like those odds. All right. If you want to take a chance on something, all right. If you don't want to take a chance on something, if something seems too risky, you can say, I'm not a gambling man, but I really don't like those odds. Or I don't really like those odds that you have here.
Is there another like sentence is similar to this? Maybe not gambling man or not
Um,
something.
so you could say, I'm not, oof, there's a phrase that I was thinking about this earlier. So
Can
you
can
could, in
can
this
we?
situation,
You
yeah,
go ahead.
you could say, I'm not a risk taker, but I would take this risk. You could say as well.
Okay. Can I
Right?
say I'm not a coke, but I can tell this is war.
Yeah,
Is
yeah, you could say that. That's a good way to say it.
is it
Yeah,
the same meaning?
yeah, you can use it. It's the same structure, right, as you're using it. But yes, right, you can definitely use that in the same situation.
Okay, okay, got it. Oh, but is it weird to say that? I mean the my previous example.
It's not as common. Okay,
Oh,
this is a very common phrase here. Like
oh,
this is
so
a
this is a
communicative
common
phrase.
phrase to use.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
got it.
I can't imagine this is debris from the house. The house was demolished around 10 years ago because there were squatters and people like us that would come inside the house and try and stay overnight. Shit, maybe this is from the house. This looks like the bottoms of the foundation. Oh, Jesus Christ, dude. Look at that, it's like tile from the bathroom right there, it looks like.
You really turned a corner on that one pretty quick.
Yeah, but I didn't see it up close until, oh my God. It's fucking horrifying.
This one, you return a corner on that one pretty quick. Um, I have no idea.
So basically, it means that they change. It's the literal term. They change directions. All right. So, for example, let me use in a sentence. My company was about to fail, but we really turned a corner and started making money. Right. So, turn the corner was change our path, our direction that we're going. Okay. So you can say you really turned the corner on that one pretty quick. All right.
Yeah.
So turn the corner would be to change directions on that. Okay. So let's say you're going, most of the time from a negative to a positive situation. Okay.
Okay.
That's what we used it in.
Because if I just look at the sentence, I understand the meaning. I mean, yeah, it means you change something. But when I watch the video, I have no idea why they are used here. So maybe,
Yeah, let's take a look what we have.
yeah, let's take a look. Um, 225, 225.
Bottoms of the foundation. Oh, Jesus Christ, dude. Look at that, it's like tile from the bathroom right there, it looks like.
You really turned a corner on that one pretty quick.
Yeah, but I didn't.
Because they are at
Yeah.
this side and checking out things, but when he looked at the tile, then he said this sentence. So I have no idea why he said that.
Right. So this has some pretext to it, as you see. Right. His response was, "Yeah, but I didn't see it. It's up close until right. I didn't see it close until." So that means that he probably said a previous sentence, and then he changed the corner on that one, right? And this was his justification, right? He was justifying it, why he turned a corner. Does that make sense?
Okay, maybe I
Right,
missed
so
that one.
yeah, let's take a little pre-warning.
Around 10 years ago.
May go a bit further.
Yeah.
I can't imagine this is debris from the house. The house was demolished around 10 years ago.
There it is.
Squatters and
There
people
it
like
is.
us that would come inside the house and try and stay overnight. Shit, maybe this is from the house. This looks like the bottoms of the foundation. Oh, Jesus Christ, dude. Look at that, it's like tile from the bathroom right there, it looks like.
You really turned a corner on that one pretty quick.
Okay, pause that right there.
Yeah.
So you see there, he gets out of the car and he was like, I can't imagine this is the debris from the house. Right? Once he comes up close and he inspects the situation, he sees, oh, this is. So, you really turned the corner on that one pretty quick, right? Does that make sense? So he first, when he came out the car, he did not believe it was debris from the house. But as he, closer inspection, he turned the corner. Does that make sense?
Oh, I see. So he recognized,
Mhm.
yes, this is the debris from the house.
Yeah. And turn the corner can be, changing directions metaphorically or literally as well. Okay.
Okay, got it.
In a cabin. Were they in the same cabin in the room next door?
So maybe they were in there telling ghost stories or something.
I don't think they were. They were probably asleep.
They could have. I mean, they could have been in there telling ghosts. You know how kids do, pillow talk, stuff like that.
That's not what pillow talk is, I don't think.
That's what it was for me, telling ghost stories. Pillow talk
Like-
could either mean something you do after sex, or it could mean
Yeah, I think that's
it
what
could
that
mean
is.
what's like a sleepover.
Do you tell
talk.
ghost stories after sex?
That's for me and my girlfriend to know. Maybe.
You just spark up a cigarette. Let me tell you about the Keddie cabin murders.
This one, that's for me and my girlfriend to know. I guess it means I'm not gonna tell you. Is it
Mhm.
correct?
It just means something that's private to us. Okay.
Oh,
Something that maybe in this situation, for example, may be inappropriate to say out loud, right? That maybe because you don't want to say it for whatever reason, because it's inappropriate, because it's private. When you say that's for me, and a phrase, an example, I always tell my friends,
mhm,
that's for me and myself to know. Like my friends will ask me for some private information that I don't want to share.
mhm.
I'll be sarcastic with it. Okay. Now, if you tell this to a stranger, it's maybe not as polite. Okay. But
Okay.
if you're saying it with friends in a joking manner, you can say this, right? That's for me and myself to know, or that's for me and somebody else to know. But it basically means some information I can't give to you
So this
for whatever reason.
so this is not a really polite way to say this.
Not in the best situation, no. Obviously, it depends on context and how you say
Okay.
it, right?
So
If you
it's
say it
more
with a
like
smile,
joking.
yeah, it's more like joking. Mhm.
Okay, I got it, got it.
There was so much blood everywhere, and there was such force within the murders themselves. There was blood splattered on the ceilings, the walls. So whoever did this had to be covered in blood.
Yeah.
Maybe he went down that way, but it looks like
That's the forest.
you can't
No one's
imagine
gonna,
that.
if you see someone running through the forest covered in blood, you're not gonna bat an eye. You'll probably just be like, oh, as you were.
That's not how the forest works.
You see someone in the forest covered in blood, you're gonna be like, excuse me, sir. Why are you covered
Well, I'm
in
not
blood?
gonna stop him, but maybe I'll like take a good look at what he looks like.
I'll
Call
just
the
let 'em-
police, that sort of thing.
I'll just let them mind their own.
Okay, good. I'm glad to know that if you would be the worst crime scene witness of all time.
Mhm.
Okay, this one, as you were.
As you were. Okay.
Yeah. Do you need to watch the video because
No. This is a very, very common phrase to say. So let's take a
Okay.
look. As you were. Okay. So were obviously the past tense
Mhm.
of the verb to be, right?
Mhm.
So basically what it's saying here is continue what you were doing before we had our interaction. Okay. So
Got
as
it.
you were, right? So a lot of times it's used in the sense of somebody in power tells the inferior, right? So
Oh.
my boss, let me give you an example, right? Let's say my boss comes and talks to me. I'm working, I'm doing my job. My boss comes and talks to me. We have a conversation. At the end of the conversation, it's a very common thing for somebody like that to say, as you were.
Oh, so you
So
keep
that could-
doing what you were doing.
exactly before we had this interaction.
Okay,
Right?
got it, got it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's an example really where if you wanted to pull it up, I could definitely show you for sure also.
Yeah. So I'm thinking if it's another situation, I can use it because it sounds like is usually is more, it's not that polite to say. It feels like,
It is polite. It's a very formal, polite way to say things.
oh, okay.
As you were, right? Continue on.
Okay.
Almost as to say like sorry to bother you without saying sorry to bother you, right? Sorry to bother you. Continue.
Oh,
As you were.
now I got it. Now I
Yeah,
got it. Because
yeah,
sometimes I'm not sure if this phrase is polite to use or is joking, because I kind of understand the meaning, but I'm not sure the feeling behind the
yeah.
sentence. So
It's a
so
very neutral. It's a very neutral, polite thing to say. It is. It's very common.
good to know.
Mhm.
All right. I'm glad to know that if you would be the worst crime scene witness of all time, I just don't understand why if is used here.
If okay, great question. So, I'm glad to know if you would be the worst crime scene witness of all time. Now there has to be some context to it, right?
Yeah.
And this is what we call a conditional, right? So the first part is actually it doesn't follow the conditional like structure, but it is used in the conditional sense, right?
Mhm.
I'm glad to know that if you would be the worst crime scene witness of all time. Okay. Do you want to go ahead and pull up the videos that we can see the context?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So 6 minutes and 13 seconds.
Why are you covered
Well, I'm
in
not
blood?
gonna stop him, but maybe I'll like take a good look at what he looks like.
I'll
Call
just
the
let
police, that sort of thing.
I'll just let them mind their own.
Okay, good. I'm glad to know that if you would be the worst crime scene witness of all time.
Okay. This is kind of funny, right? So they're talking about like how would it be as a witness, right?
Yes.
The first one said, "Hey, I'm going to take a look at him to see how he looks like, to give information to police."
Mm-hmm.
The other person says, "I would mind my own business," meaning that he would look away and try to get away as quick as possible. All
Yes.
right. So the meaning, going back to it, good to know that you would be like the worst. He's saying in a sarcastic way in this sense. I'm glad to know that if it would be the worst crime scene witness of all time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Possible, future um, possibility, right? So again, he said in a sarcastic way, right? He was making it as a joke,
Yeah.
right? And you would be the worst crime scene witness of all time. Um,
Uh,
Now, if
mm,
right, he used
yeah.
it as a conditional for a future possibility, right? That is either hypothetical or unlikely, correct? That
Okay.
they're conditional, right? In this situation, it's hypothetical and unlikely for future tense, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
So that's
So,
why he using if in this sentence. Okay,
mhm,
because I thought it's more like a statement because if I use say it, I'm just say I'm glad to know that you
yeah,
would be you
you
are
got it.
you are the worst crime scene
Yeah.
witness of all time. So I would say without if.
If like
It,
the if would be right. No, the if most people would say like this. I'm glad to know that you would be the worst crime scene witness of all time. Okay. Now, one thing that you have to realize also about people when you're watching shows is
Mhm.
that people make mistakes when they speak. And this is something that you really realize as a teacher, right? Once you're a teacher for years, you know, and you see a native in their comfortable environment,
Mhm.
you realize they make a lot of mistakes. They make a lot of mistakes. Like a lot of times, for example, the verb to be, right?
Mhm.
Um, some areas in the United States will use is instead of are, right? And like that's a big grammatical mistake, but we still use it, and they're still native speakers, right? But they're just saying it incorrectly. So
Okay.
a lot of times, native speakers they will use incorrect structures just because they've used it their entire lives. So they still make mistakes. It's just not as noticeable.
So in this sentence, it should
It
be with
should.
Without if, issue without.
Without if, yes.
Okay,
If you
so
were
no
using a
if.
sentence, no
Oh,
if.
okay, now I got it.
Because it is kind of weird that he made this into like a conditional structure, right?
Yeah.
By adding if. But yes, you are correct. I would say this without if. Okay.
Okay. Interesting. So
Despite there being much more to this case, at the time, the investigation strangely stopped there. There was evidence that seemingly went unnoticed, and people of interest that may have not been vetted properly. The father of Dana Wingate, the friend of the Sharps that was also killed, said in 2001 that the police had, quote, stumbled over each other and fouled up the case, and he isn't alone in that line of thinking.
okay, time flies. So the last questions. I don't got this one. They stumble over each other. You mean the police stumble over each other and filed up the case? Filed me mess up, but I don't get stumble over each other here.
So, have you ever been walking on the and then you encounter a uneven surface, right? And then you fall forward, but you don't fall forward, right? Basically, or you fall forward, for example. What this means is that metaphorically, not hypothetically, not literally in this sense, the police were, and I'm assuming it's the police because just the context of the sentence, right? They stumbled over each other, meaning that they tripped over each other metaphorically, not physically, in the sense that they, one person would make a mistake that hindered the other person, right? So they stumbled over each other metaphorically.
Oh, I know, I
The
got
literal
it.
sense, the literal sense would be to fall over because of that person, right? If somebody's running and you put your foot out like this and you trip them up, that person stumbled over you.
It means they made mistakes and affect another person. That's
your mistakes, impacted another person to make a mistake.
I think I got it. Yeah, thank you, because this confused me. So
let me use this in a sentence. You guys, for example, you could say, you guys have done a very bad job stumbling over each other throughout the whole day, right? So you could say it like that.
got it. All right. Thank you, Jacob.
Wow.
At this point, the entire town is a suspect. You would imagine they're all closely knit and friends.
Well, I don't think they're great friends.
Well, obviously, because someone murdered the
That's
other.
right.
Yeah,
That's
but
what I'm getting at.
some of them must be friends.
Yeah.
Others would like to plunge knives into each other.
If I can imagine any of my friends murdering me.
I could imagine one friend of yours murdering you.
This one is others would like to plunge knives into each other. I guess it means stab each other.
Yeah.
I don't get it here.
So when you plunge into something, which means that you go into something, okay? The best way I can explain this to you is to dive into something, right? So you could say they plunged into the water, like they went in there with force, right? In the bathroom, in the typical bathroom, it sometimes gets stuck, correct? Right. So one of the things that we use to get this unstuck is a plunger.
Oh, yeah, it's the same
plunger. Yeah. So when you plunge it, right, it's like
I got it.
Yeah. So there's situation for sure.
Yeah, because when you check dictionary, it means you go fall down or you go. Basically it's fall, meaning.
Yeah. With force.
With force. Okay.
Yeah, with force, for sure.
Thank you.
Okay, no problem.
So,
all right, so
that's all. Thank you so much. So thanks for watching. If you want Jacob to be your tutor, then you can find his link in the description, and I will see you next week. Bye bye.